Why, hello there. So, I've built something already. Okay, I'm doing this post-fixing evaluation. It kind of works with the only plus operator. And, as always, I'm watching some tutorials, and this is not a tutorial. I came to realize that, I guess, by the moment when I've generated the postfix thing, I don't really need this tokenizer. And I was wondering how to actually delete the instance of my tokenizer because it kind of lives until the very end of a function. In this case, it's not that um, terrible, but technically, I could still add stuff to it as I did in where was it? When I was adding stuff in front of generated stuff. Yeah. So I needed a possibility to insert additional operands and operators in the start of a function, like intermediate representation of the stuff that I did. And then I do to postfix, which is literally build, and yeah. So after this, I don't really need it. I don't really need parser, but I could still add stuff to it after this thing. So this is kind of a violation of my API, and I really got inspired by Ryan Levick. I rewatch his stuff constantly, along with the Primogen and other guys. And there's a concept I never used, the ownership model. So what ownership usually allows you to do, so I created this small scope struct with just a usize, right? And if I create an instance of it, start 2, print ln, and I would just output it. Come on, keyboard. Right, I can use as, what was it, start. So I can technically use it as this, yeah. So I have a method, impl the scope thing, fn, let's call it a build, right? And it needs to use, well, usually when we want to borrow the self and modify its contents or whatever, we just borrow it to the method that performs stuff to it. And let me just return a self start. Oh yeah, this needs to be use size. Yeah, it's a use size. So build. Yeah, for the sake of tutorial, let's add 10 to it. So it should give me a 12, right? Yeah, it gives me 12. So according to the API that we generated here, I could still add stuff. I can manipulate the thing. So when build was called, it it borrowed the self and it didn't clear it itself. I can switch it to 1 and it should give me 11 now. Whoop, cannot assign because it should be mutable. Yes. So, but this technically is a violation, right? So when we build, we expect that we are done with the thing. And apparently the stuff that I never tried to do is this. You remove the borrow. So technically when you step into the function, the self is passed inside here. We do the thing that we do. And when the function goes out of scope, when it's performed, the self is cleared as according to rules of ownership. So when I try to run it now, this thing doesn't work because, well, it does exactly what we did at the point of line 21. This is already partially, yeah, it's trying to assign stuff after we moved something, and this thing is already non-present in the entire thing. We cannot even Emacs. We cannot even call it twice because the same thing, it was already moved. This is like brand new stuff for me, and I've been using Rust for my self-study for over 4 months now. This is cool. So technically, the presentation part is over at this point, but I want to exercise what the thing actually does. I want to go and actually try and do this. And it will obviously fail because I believe all of the stuff that I'm doing right now. So there's a lot of this postfixing is technically holding references to the self operands list. At this point, I'm experimenting, and I know this is failing, but I do want to check it in front of you, just how badly will it fail. So apparently at line 101, 101, go. Yeah, I am already returning something that needs a lifetime. Well, yeah, okay, let's try and do that. Again, this is not a tutorial anymore. This is me messing around. I'm playing. All right. Lifetime provided. So did I write it? Yes. If I run it now, self operands is borrowed here, returns a value referencing data owned by the current function. So this means that self is trying to kill itself. Not the best description, but still. And this tries to reference data owned by this. So I cannot return the reference to, I cannot return the enums in the postfix things that I returned over there. Oh boy. So this is maybe the place where my previous tests cloning was necessary. If I wonder if I clone it, if I clone the entire thing I created in this function, I guess I would need to add to owned to it just to clone and to owned. Oh, come on. Yes. Right. Self operance is borrowed over there. Yeah, let's go to that line and remove some more. 105. 105 GG. Do I just remove it? So this technically goes with the current non-borrowed stuff and pushes everything over there. Just how bad will it fail? Whoa. So there is something that already is telling me that maybe, yeah, I defined postfix variable as a vector of this. So I removed borrowing. So by removing borrowing over there, I might just return a non-referenced array of things. I just don't know. So same applies for the temporary stack over here. I don't think I worry about like memory efficiency at this point. I just want my function to build like strict copy of whatever I am creating. Shit, there's more. 140, 140, GG. So at this point, I don't want to copy stuff over, and the precedence. So I guess I need to give it a reference to it so it doesn't kill the variable. Whoop. All right, let's go one by one. So 140 should be fixed. $164. expected this but got this. I guess I remove that. I want maybe to check this stuff a bit more, and if I'm not happy with it, I will just revert back. And at this point, oh yeah, I'm not supposed to clone it anymore because it's a brand new self-owned version of the stack. All right, so expected this, but found literally this. I cannot, of course, use this because the postfix is already killed, and the ownership model will tell me that it's not. Yep. Something is fishy. So let's go to the beginning of this function and tell it to return just a vector of operand bbam. All right, and now the tests fail, obviously. Quite a lot of them. So let's go to the interpret function. So this thing is way too far in the beginning, and I would rather test stuff in this function in the end. So 573, 573 GG. And expected a reference. Expected the reference to operand, found just an operand. 573. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. This should be still correct. Go to definition. Oh. Yep. So this is now the correct code. So at least the 573 should go away. Now there's 533. Come on. 533 GG. Alright, what's wrong in here? Yeah, obviously this is not correct anymore because we own this data now. No references because this is dead, okay? It's dead. The parser is dead. We don't use it anymore. We need this. Alright, apparently I'm moving in the right direction. 507. So this is now not what we expected. So this should be this. And actually, after the parser is done, I literally want to work with this. Because why would I use references to number? I don't want to reference stuff in here because this might live way longer than so I would want this data to live way longer than this parser, right? So this is done here. Obviously there's more. So technically I could just go ahead and yeah, remove this. And yeah, remove this. This is not returning anything. This should not be this. What I really like about programming is you can be wrong 100 times over, and eventually you will go to some more naive and simpler approach to yourself. Yeah, this is easier to comprehend for me when it's done like this at this point. So what else do I have in there? Do I have more references to the data that might be deleted already? Is this still correct? Oh yeah, here I'm just literally holding a reference to. You know what? I'm not sure. Let's write whatever I did. And now we're done only to the interpreter file. Interpreter. Let formula result equal expected operand something. Oh yeah, this function over here, it expects, close it, yeah, it expects this, not a reference to an operand, but the actual thing. Not the reference, but the actual thing. All right, let's see. I messed up. What? Can you see the error? Because I don't. Can you show me again? Oh, yeah. Come on. Close the thing. How on earth did I insert a letter in there? Save. Please work. Shit. the value at 131 in tokenizer now. Shit. It's just a can of worms. 131. 131. Go, go. Is this a two postfix? Yeah, it is. So it advises me to use at 131 a reference It's a can of worms. Just a huge, huge can of worms. Oh shit, it worked. So what I've done now is, by following a simple suggestion from a cool Ryan Levick guy, I was able to get rid of the entire tokenizer instance right after I converted to postfix. And after that, I could use the postfix array any way I would like, which sounds like a cool feature. I intend to use it this way because I don't want to use the tokenizer after I've done this. There's no reason for the parser to exist past the entire to postfix thing. I worked with this stuff later, like with interpreter or executor. I just run with it. Gee, do I do I need this cloning now? Just push P. If I don't need it, then I would remove clone macro from the operators. Why is it a reference? Oh yeah, it's a reference by... Oh no, wait. So I guess I cannot. So at least my code has become a bit cleaner and the testing has become cleaner. I mean, I removed like kilobytes of code. I mean, it's more compact. Still works. Honestly, I really like how the testing code looks like now. Because having multiple ampersands right before these was kind of weird, and I didn't comprehend why. So this was useful. And see you next time.